I'm Zach, and we're back with more of the ultimate shark attack. And what better way to get into the belly of these beasts than to sink our teeth into theirs? On second thought, let's check their dental records from a safe distance. Because if you get too close... Whoa! Did you see that? His jaws actually came out of his mouth. Well, I don't know. It could have been scarier. Everyone, take your places, please. We're gonna try it again. Roland, do you mind?
There you are.
And action. And cut. Beautiful. Let's break for lunch. Yes, jaws and teeth are definitely the ultimate weapons in a shark's arsenal. And their choppers are custom built. Every species has its own particular kind of tooth, depending on what it eats. Like the tiger shark. Its teeth are serrated and hooked, kinda like a hungry saw. Good for tearing into your lunch. Other shark teeth are totally different. The Port Jackson shark's teeth are designed to crush shellfish. Why? Because it lives in an area of Australia where shellfish are the catch of the day every day.
Large order of clams, please.
Remember our cold pal, the Greenland shark? Well, their teeth are so sharp, the local Eskimo barbers used to use them to cut hair. The Wobbegong shark has angled teeth. Combine that with a lightning-fast lunge, and no prey is safe. With all that biting and chomping, it's no surprise sharks lose their teeth all the time. But don't worry, they're still smiling. The sharks have a time-tested backup plan. Just like we lose our baby teeth and get new grown-up ones, some sharks have as many as 15 rows of spare teeth. The extras are always there, waiting to take their place at the dinner table. The biggest eaters can lose and replace as many as 6,000 teeth a year, more than 16 every day. And with Mega Magnifier on the scene, we can show you just how the whole operation works. It's like a conveyor belt. Sometimes a tooth can be replaced in less than 24 hours. Even my dentist can't work that fast. But just how hard do these beasts bite? Well, that question has kept scientists busy for years. Experiments like this one have given them a totally surprising answer. With a bite strength of 42,000 pounds per square inch, sharks don't chomp down with much more power than we do. The difference, and it's a big one, is the teeth. No matter how much we brush and floss, human teeth are nowhere near as impressive as the sharks. Tiger sharks are some of the most voracious eaters in all of sharkdom. They're sort of like the vacuum cleaners of the ocean floor. Their motto, if it's in my way, it's prey. But as Mega Mag's gonna show us, that kind of attitude can have its drawbacks. Check out some of the things that have been found in a tiger shark's stomach. Tennis shoes, a suit of armor, nuts and bolts, tin cans, a life jacket, even a used bullet. But not all sharks are so into junk food. Picky eaters like these nurse sharks have much more sophisticated taste. They cruise the ocean floor, patiently searching for their favorite dish, shellfish. Looks like it's too late for this lobster, though. See those two things that almost look like fangs? Those are called barbels. They actually work as feelers. The hungry nurse sharks sift through the sand, using their barbels to find succulent shellfish snacks. But when it finally turns up a treat, like this conch, it's still not time to eat. A conch has a thick shell, with the meat hidden deep inside. To get at the edible part, the nurse shark uses a blast of water to roll the conch over. That exposes a tiny opening in the conch's armor. And the nurse sharks use a super strong suction power to vacuum the conch meat right out. and then it's on to suck up the second course. When a nurse shark feels like dining on lobster, they have a totally different set of table manners. The strategy here is to bump and shove the lobster until it's worn out. Then, the nurse shark quietly picks up the spiny little crustacean in its mouth and body slams it. Boom! Smashing it into a kajillion pieces. Only the lobster tail is good enough for the nurses. Seconds, anyone? Where's the melted butter? Now this guy doesn't look like he's missed any meals. The whale shark is the biggest fish in the world. It can grow to over 50 feet long and weigh more than 20 tons. It's like a mobile home with fins. Might want to pick up the pace there, fellas. Actually, it looks like this whale shark is just out for a swim. Because when it's mealtime at the whale shark's house, you'll know it. See, whale sharks are what scientists call filter feeders. They swim along with their mouths wide open. Hundreds of thousands of gallons of water go into that mouth and out through the gills. The gills strain out tiny organisms called plankton and the occasional side dish of small fish and shrimp. I'll stick with tuna myself, but it seems to work for him. Wow, are these photographers lucky or what? Since the whale sharks don't eat people, they can get as close as they want. On the other hand, we're still waiting to hear back from the crew of plankton photographers. We're back and ready to dive in with the kings of the ocean, the sharks. And take it from me, there's no better diving than the crystal waters of the Bahamas. Welcome to Walker's Key, also known as Shark Heaven. These tourists are on their way to the bottom of the ocean for a first-hand encounter with the local wildlife. Down here, that means rubbing elbows with the sharks. Now, even though the odds are against it and everyone is way careful, there's no guarantee that the sharks won't attack. Whoa, easy fella. Good boy. Zach's your friend. Now the visitors sit down and stay calm. This is one way to make sure no one loses their head. Another is to keep the sharks busy with delicious fish heads. This might look like a dangerous way to spend your summer vacation, but people line up to snuggle up with the sharks. In fact, the sharks are so popular, each one of them reels in about $250,000 in tourist money every year. But it's not just about the Bahamian Benjamins. Dives like this one have helped people learn some of the strangest things about sharks. Now, I know I don't have to tell you, don't try this next trick at home, because everyone knows, grabbing a shark by the tail is for professionals only. But when this trained diver does it, something highly bizarre happens. The scientific name is tonic immobility. What happens is that when these sharks get flipped over, they become totally, utterly, completely relaxed. They almost fall asleep. Turn them back over, they wake up and get the heck out of town. Now, the more we learn about the sharks that swim among us today, the better we can understand where they came from. Because since their ancestors were also mostly cartilage and didn't have any bones, then there are hardly any fossils for us to study. We do know that the first sharks splashed onto the scene around 400 million years ago. These guys look just as wild as anything we've got today. Say hi to Adestes giganteus. And thanks to Mega Magnifier, you could see it had some Teethius giganteus too. But his teeth weren't jack compared to the Helicoprion. Now, if that name makes you think of a helicopter, you're on the right track. Check out how the teeth are arranged. That whirlpool shape was perfect for crushing stone-hard Stone Age shells. But it still couldn't keep them from going extinct. Here's another member of the extinct club, the late, great Carcharodon megalodon. Now, he's considered a modern shark, and he might have been the biggest of them all, twice as big as a great white. But between 1 and 3 million years ago, he vanished. Today's sharks aren't the only grandchildren of these old-timers. About 140 million years ago, back when dinosaurs were still kicking it on land, the family of shark branched off down a freaky path. That led to the rays and skates we know and love today. These flying carpet shark cousins are definitely smooth operators. And just like the sharks, they come in many shapes and sizes. Like this guitarfish, on his way to jam with my personal fave, the sawfish. I mean, check it out. It's like he's got a spiked baseball bat attached to his face. And when the Sammy Sosa of the sea swings, kiss that fish goodbye. Very cool. But hey, this isn't the ultimate guide to rays, so let's bring back the sharks. Like this happy camper. And he has good reason to smile. He's a survivor. See those gills? He's got 7 of them. That means his species has been swimming the seas since ancient times. He's a living chapter from the big, soggy book of shark history. Modern marine history is being written every day here at the Johnson Sea Link. It's like a lab in a sub. The only way to check out deepwater sharks is in their natural habitat, like this 6-gill shark. Pretty much the last thing I'd want to meet in a dark alley 2,000 feet underwater. Good thing the Sea Link can shed some light on its favorite subject. Because down here, even high noon is pitch dark. Meet one of the deep sea locals, Oxynotus carabeus. This is the first time in history that this bizarre shark has ever been filmed. No wonder he's a little camera shy. But I'll tell you, it's hard to believe this funny-looking thing's a shark at all. But if you want funny looking, take a swim in the shallow waters. That's where the southern cat shark plays. Cat shark? The way it's hightailing out of here looks more like a scaredy cat shark to me. Maybe it's being chased by a dogfish. These freaky epaulet sharks are truly one of a kind. They use their fins to walk along the ocean floor. No other shark in the world can do it. I almost feel like I should put this little dude on a leash. The Australian wobbegong shark doesn't actually walk, but it does stick close to the ocean floor. Some people like to call them swimming carpets. That design on their skin, it works like camouflage, helping them blend in with the local scenery. They wait for unsuspecting prey to stumble into their trap.
That's good eating. And so's that. And that.
It's a pretty efficient system, with only an occasional hiccup. Wobbegongs are masters of disguise, but they aren't the only sharks that use camouflage to pull a fast one on their prey. The mega nasty tiger shark imitates the shadows that rippling water makes. It's hard to believe a guy this big could hide in open waters, but that's the sheer genius of sharks. And when it gets close enough, the tiger pounces. But Mother Nature does fight fair. See, the sea turtle has its famous hard shell for protection. So all it has to do is keep its back to the shark, and that soft belly will be safe from the tiger's jaws. Pretty crafty, huh? One of the most mysterious things about sharks is how they produce offspring. Humans have rarely seen sharks mating. They're very shy fish. That's what makes this film of nurse sharks mating so amazing. Kinda looks like they're dancing. What happens when the dance is over? Well, with any luck, something like this. About 30% of shark species come from a fertilized egg sac. The mother shark leaves it on the ocean floor. Like everything else about the sharks, the egg sac is very strong. It protects the embryo from the harsh outside world, making it safe to grow. And grow until it's ready to burst out and rule the seas. Unfortunately, we couldn't get permission to film inside a shark embryo. But the shark's close relative, the skate, has graciously volunteered to let us inside one of its egg sacs, called a mermaid's purse. And what's inside is priceless. Right, Mega Magnifier? This skate embryo grows just like a shark embryo. That white blob is the yolk, where it gets its food. And little by little, it gets bigger. And bigger. And bigger. Then, it starts shaking its tail non-stop. This circulates oxygen. And next thing you know, it's got gills.
Which only makes it look more like an alien.
By 11.5 weeks, there's no doubt we've got ourselves a skate. True story. That's one way big sharks make little sharks. Now check this out. In this tank, at this very moment, an angel shark is about to give birth. Don't believe me? Why don't you ask her? Or her? Angel sharks give birth to live pups that have already hatched inside the mother. And here's something harsh to contemplate about shark birth. As soon as the pup is born, she gets no care from her mother. It's the same deal for nurse sharks. This bouncing baby is barely 2 weeks old, and it's already time for it to get out of the house and get a life. With no mom and nurse to protect it, the next few months are gonna be scary. For protection, it does have those spots. They're called newborn spots. And as long as this pup spends the next few months close to the ocean floor, the spots will help it blend in. And hopefully, hungry predators will swim right on by. Talk about having to grow up fast. Good luck, pup.